Hello everyone, welcome to another app review on the mobile arena. The application that I'm going to be talking about today is a rather controversial game called Flappy Birds. I'm not going to go into the gameplay much because chances are if you're watching you've already played it and you want to get better, or you're just puzzled at why, despite how stupidly simple this game is, why it is so popular. So instead of talking about the gameplay, since it's pretty simple, I'm going to talk about why this game is so difficult and how you can get better. Just as a disclaimer, I'm by no means a pro at this game at all, since I've already wasted enough time playing this game. So I'm just going to be talking about some things I've noticed as I've played this game and some things that I feel would help benefit the player into getting better and beating their own high score or beating their friends. The first thing I would advise the player to do is to keep a steady rhythm when they're playing. You can see right now when I'm playing, the bird is very steady, and having the sound on also helps because it sort of feels like I'm beating a drum, or it's like a pulse when I'm playing. Keeping a steady rhythm allows the player to easily overcome wherever space there is or go through whatever pipe, because most of the time when we lose, it is because we do a drastic movement of some sort. Since the height is consistent whenever we're clicking it, it is better if you keep a steady rhythm so that you will be able to overcome any obstacle that is thrown in your way. So this steady rhythm will help you get through easier. Another reason why this game is hard is because oftentimes it feels like there is already room when there isn't. So what I mean is, whenever we hit one of the pipes, it feels like that we didn't really touch it, but the game says we did. Now you can see when I'm playing, it looks like I did touch it sometimes, but there are some times when I play it feels like I didn't really touch the pipe, but the game says I did. So I'll never really know if I actually did touch it. But the psychological mindset when playing it is to always leave a bit of leeway when we're playing, and that way it will allow you to play easier. And I can say, just playing for like maybe 4 or 5 minutes, you'll get used to leaving a bit of room. And the reason why it's so difficult is because most people, they give up after like playing a few times just because of how damn frustrating this game is, and I don't blame you because it is very pointless. The last reason why this game is so difficult is because of how unnatural this tapping of the bird is. We've seen these kind of games in the past. This kind of concept has been implemented in games in the past, such as Ski Safari or maybe Tiny Wings, where you have to tap or hold something to make it go up or down. But the reason why it is so difficult is because regardless of where the bird is, whenever you tap it, it goes the same height. So even if the bird is dropping from a very high distance, the bird still goes the same height, which sort of throws the player pretty easily. It's just unnatural to us to see the bird with the same height regardless of where the bird is. And when I'm ascending, no matter how many times I press it, it still goes the same height, which is also another reason why it is unnatural. One last thing to address is, normally when these kind of games, they have these obstacles that you have to fly or jump past. In this case, you have to fly past. The developer would make it so that pressing it once would allow you to overcome the obstacle. But what this developer ingeniously did is they made it so that the distance traveled when you tap it once is slightly less than the distance of the pipe. So what you end up having to do is, tapping it once is not really enough to overcome the pipe, but if you tap it again, most of the time you'll end up hitting the top or maybe hitting the bottom. If you don't tap it, you'll end up hitting the bottom. And that is why it takes a long time to get used to it. And that is why you have to use the rhythm aspect, which I was talking about before. So the developer could have very easily just made it so that tapping it once, you can get over the pipe, you can fly over the pipe, but instead they decided to make it so that pressing it once looks like you'll make it over, but really you don't. So you end up having to press again. But the distance is so minor, you almost don't notice it when you first play. Only after do you notice. So that is why this game is so difficult, and that is why it's so popular. Hopefully I've helped you in some way to get better at this game, or explain why this game, despite being so simple, is so frustrating and difficult. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.